Welcome back, chat. Welcome back. We're at it again. And hey, I remembered to point the wrong way. Pointing that way. That thing. I remembered to put that up there. Yeah, we're going to jump in. We're going to lead off with, if you can kind of see it. I can't point in a way that you can see it. I'm going to try Ahsoka Yellow to start. I expect this to be dog shit. I kind of remember it being dog shit, but I've been messing around with a few different Ahsoka versions as of late, and basically it boils down to this. The floor is lava. And like, why am I on the ground? Like, what are we doing here? So as a result, we're gonna try and see if we can make Ahsoka work. So the iteration here, among the various issues, this is iteration 1. Well, it's iteration like 5 or 6, but the reason that it's iteration 5 or 6 is because I was trying this with. I'm not wasting time against this. We need to see real decks. The main thing is this: we need to see Cad.
Hello there.
This is at least like a recognizable archetype. It's a little weird with this. He doesn't have Legacy Run. Oh, excuse me. In unrelated news, I did have somewhat of a breakthrough. Well, not a breakthrough, but like I did have an interesting point of growth for one of my games. I hope I'm not just changing things in it for the sake of changing it. Like, I like the idea. I'm not sure it's better. But we'll see. In fact, during the countdown, I was writing everything down. So this is 4. I guess we're going to do this. It's a little awkward. We're going to take 1,000,000 here. But I mean, he's got to have an answer for. Wait, what did I resource? Oh, we drew double Naboo? I wasn't paying attention. I was not, in fact, paying attention. So the big issue is going to be, will he have... I guess... will he have a ground sentinel for the deploy turn? That's one of my big concerns for this deck. So do I... He has to attack this, right? Yeah. Now we take 1,000. We'll see what he does. Because I'm inclined to just throw, like, slap the Han in here and then claim if he lets us. I mean, this is the kind of thing we want. We want them to be under an enormous amount of pressure, and then we just get there, right? He should claim. Because he needs another single target for this. If he doesn't, we're in great shape. Maybe not great, but decent shape. My neck. I don't know if people heard that crack. Yeah, that is wildly irrelevant. Not quite lethal, but pretty dang close. So, dry run number 1, not bad.
Hello there.
So what I like to do is we'll play 10 games and then reassess. But only against, like, things that actually fucking matter. I don't want to waste time against decks that are doo-doo. This is actually a little awkward into him because killing this does matter. Like, the untap is, generally speaking, irrelevant, but against Mando, it actually is meaningful. I'm going to say we're probably going to want to Akbar on 5. I might play the Chewie. I don't... Like, he has to have a, This is kind of annoying. We do have the cable, thankfully. Yeah, I'm gonna Chewie. You're taking $1 billion now. Sick. We got so many ways to fucking push this. We're probably still gonna Akbar, though. Because he just doesn't have any sweeps until, okay, so he's got that. That's not great for us. So Akbar is definitely the line. That's awkward. Paying 5 for 3 feels pretty fucking bad. You also notably do not have a Naboo ship. I'm unclear on whether Akbar is good enough in this list. Like, Akbar is really powerful, but I really feel like you want to go 2-2-1 or 4-1. 3-2 is fine, but obviously whiffing it and getting a 3 only feels like crap. Anytime you don't get the full maximum value of it, it feels bad. It may still be good enough, I don't know. Like, would Akbar on ground have been good enough? Maybe. My brother in Christ, will you fucking stop? If I do this, it's just a dirtle. He should just pass. I don't think I would claim. Hopefully this guy will run it back. I'd like to see this again. Moats, like, we should be good into this, but I want to confirm. And not good enough. Let's see if I'll run it back. He will not. Alright, so we got a dub.
Hello
I've said
there.
it many times, but I would like to... I don't love Piet in this meta, but... and this is blue. But it is, like, a recognizable archetype. This one could be kind of scary because if he starts Gonk and then just, like, powers out shitter after shitter, we're kind of in trouble. He did not. Sick. But I'd like to play Ahsoka, as I've been saying, because I think that they're... we actually missed out on a damage here. Because if I had played the Bravo, we could have buffed. I think Ahsoka lines up well into pilots and a number of other things. So, like, I think there's a home or a avenue, a lane for her. Oh, that's the wrong fucking thing. I meant to click that. But, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things. I don't know. Could just all be bullshit. So you had no ramp, which is notable. What's hilarious is his clock is arguably better than mine. This is so stupid. I don't even remember what's in my own deck. What do we Akbar for here? I don't think there's anything worthwhile. So we're going to do this trigger. I'm actually going to pass. That's an issue. Wait, what? You killed the clown car? I don't know about that one, Chief. So if he has a ground sentinel, specifically a shielded one, that causes some problems for me. We'll buff this guy. If we lose this, I'm like, maybe it's time to hang it up because this guy did nothing. Nope. That was way closer than it should have been. And that guy did almost literally nothing that entire game. I'm not wasting time against this. Even if this would be a very quick game, most likely.
Hello there.
This is a relevant matchup. So the thought came up in trying to figure out other stuff that for the attack. Yeah, I don't think this is going to make the cut. The thought came up that what if you played Galen in the blue version to try and push through the Sentinels? Because you could play it on 4 and just name the Sentinel. But if it's Commando, they can go ping and then just punch him. Which I guess isn't the end of the world, but... We'll see what he does and then see if we can chewy. I will, in fact, play Chewbacca. If we had a guy that could pump, I would have considered doing something else, but... To be blunt, I don't have any idea how this deck does into anything. It's all just theory crafting. Oh, excuse me. But I'm pretty sure the floor is lava, no matter what. I was trying to, the last couple days, see if there was a way to like, oh, well, if you're in both lanes, then you could pull them this way and then lane dodge, or like you could have like a couple guys on ground that maybe have Saboteur or whatever, and then you get back up in space so that they can't just fight everything. And it didn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. We'll do that. Who the fuck is... Oh, it's a group chat. Oh, God. God save us. We certainly cannot save ourselves, I can tell you that much. I don't think there's a... Well, he could, like... We'll take the damage, because if he decides to, like, charge with Ligma, that would be annoying. Maybe I should have held it, because he could have, And we probably should have held it. So if he goes 1, 2, 3... Oh, we're fucked. If he has the topple, we're in deep shit. We're not going to get our, like, super wombos set up, because he should be able to kill the Bravo. Is thin crust pizza, extra sauce, no cheese, a form of soup in a bread bowl? Thin crust? I've never eaten that. I guess? Is there any way for him to... I think we just take our damage. I don't want to dick around with, like... I'm going to do this. Trigger you. Trigger here. Support here. Here. This. Thin crust extra pizza... Or thin crust extra pizza. Thin crust pizza, extra sauce, no cheese. First of all, what kind of monster gets no cheese on pizza? Like, what the fuck are you ordering then? You're ordering pasta sauce on bread. No, you're getting like a weird PB&J. That's what you're getting. You're getting a red sauce PB&J. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, who hurt you? PB&J is a bread bowl, apparently. Wait, hang on. Wait, what are we doing here? I don't know if that was actually a win. He left. So, like, if he claimed into topple, like Boba topple, he could go 1, 2, 3. He's not dead. Like, if he claimed into topple, he'd be fine. We're close to greatness. Uncrustable is a sealed bread bowl. What? I've, honest to God, never even seen an Uncrustable. I don't know what that is. Well, I take it back. I do know what it is, but
Hello there.
I don't know. All right, here's the real test. Here's the real test. But real talk, I've never in real life seen an Uncrustable or been aware of what an Uncrustable is. My understanding is it's a hot pocket, but a PB&J, so a cold pocket. That's my layman understanding of it. This thing's got to come out, I think. Breakfast calzone. Wait, I thought it was PB&J. Like, what's in them? So then how is a breakfast cal? Who the fuck eats peanut butter and jelly for breakfast? All right, Luffy, we're learning a lot of unsavory facts about your life now. What is happening? There are other meals besides breakfast and dinner. What the fuck? There's a whole other meal. Technically, there's 2 if you believe Taco Bell. Let's make a real sandwich. So if he could ping dagger. Yeah, I think we just go for the chewy. Just make a real sandwich for lunch. Well, first of all, I don't disagree. I don't actually like. I don't mind peanut butter. I do not like jelly. It's gross. I'm about to rock this guy's whole world. Did you know Uncrustables are a breakfast calzone? What do you hate most about America? Yeah, apparently my wife knows what an Uncrustable is. I was unaware of what these were. Do I just reset this thing? I think I advance my board and I just eat the 5, right? I actually often bring a peanut butter only sandwich to work. Like, peanut butter only is fine. Oh, condemn is straight up fucking Ligma. Claim. An IG-88 is a little bit of a fucking concern. Is that card good in the mirror? I remember everybody like losing their fucking minds over Whistling Birds. I'm not even sure the card's good. Well, I take that back. The card is good, but like, I'm pretty. What did he have? Yeah, he has no interaction for this. We can set this up and tag him for like infinite. Take a billion! Pow pow in the PP. Chad, I think I need more fans down here. I don't know if you guys can hear the fan on the mic. Like, I have a desk fan now. I had it last year, I guess. But I added the desk fan, and I got the full fan going. This happens every summer. It's better now that we got the windows redone, so it's not, like, infinite degrees up here or down here, but it's gross. It's actually lost 3 or 4% humidity since yesterday. It's in the comfort zone, according to my ThermPro. He had 0 sentinels this game. Unless he plays one now. But based on the fact that he's playing IG-88 and Senor Frog, I don't really know what the plan is here. I'll buff that guy. Let's see if he'll run it back. I mean... you missed the 5-game win streak we're on now, J-Freak. So we beat Thrawn 4 Red, Mando Colossus, Piet Blue, Boba Lake, and we just beat Cad Blue. Now, before everybody gets their hopes up, and yes, this is my stream shuffling stack. There are 7 cards, and if you hear me doing this, they're kind of grimy. I probably need to throw them away, get another stack of random commons. So the Thrawn 4 Red did some weird stuff. Yeah, lock it in now. Galactic Championship game or deck. The Thrawn 4 Red, like, basically didn't interact with us. He played like 1 No Glory, and that was it. Now it's Thrawn 4 Red. There's really only so many things that they can do. The Mando Colossus went really well. We did notably have Saboteur options. I had both the Unsanctioned Patrol and Ascension Cable on the deploy turn to make sure that Ahsoka connected. Otherwise, we would have missed out on like 9 damage or something, and like hypothetically they can come back. Because he did have Lothwolf. The Piet Blue was weird because he did not ramp at all. And he went like Battlefield Marine, Follower of the Code, Battlefield Marine, and like was keeping pace with our clock, which was a little concerning. And then he had played a Chimera, but then had no additional removal after that. Like he played a Chimera the turn afterwards, but because he tapped out, or he played the Chimera. He played the Chimera on the deploy turn, and then was able to kill something, but like didn't have another removal. So we were able to get there. And he didn't have a Sentinel to stop the Ahsoka herself, because I did not have the resources to play the like a Saboteur if he had a Sentinel. The Boba did not. We were able to kill all his ships while pressuring, and he did not have he didn't have the topple. Or if he had the topple, he couldn't play it. I think if he claimed, I was trying to figure it out, if he had claimed into R7 and played topple, because we didn't have him like dead, like actually dead on the deploy turn. So he was at like 29 or something. He might have been able to do it because we could only do 4 damage, I think, at most. And then we just beat that Cad Blue who played 0 Sentinels. So now we were all space, so maybe when I played my 3rd spaceship, he's like, okay, well, I won't bother. But if he had played a Sentinel to stunt the Ahsoka attack, we could have been in trouble.
Hello there.
So we're only on game 6 of evaluating this. We've also had a couple of those games. We did chewy cheese people, which, look, I'll be the first to say sometimes don't fucking work, but if you're not playing a yellow deck, I'm slamming chewy. I just don't care. Like, I think we play Chewy here. He has to have exactly Constable. No, Neil? Correct. I'll show you the list after this game. Oh, well, I posted the list to Discord. It's the one that I posted in there. We kind of can't play the Hauler because he showed us enough stuff that he's 100% going to get it back. Or he's going to steal it. Do I expect Chimera Improve? I expect them to be like 80 or 90. On site at Galactics, at least. So he showed me different stuff, which means he resourced some of this. I don't think we might need the Ascension Cable just because that could push Ahsoka out of range of things. Not necessarily because it's good. So, I've talked about this a few times. The good legendaries are $50 on release, right? And then they'll go up or down depending on usage and whatever, like Liberty, for example. That's a little problematic. So Liberty hit like $50 at one point. I don't know if it was always there. And this is a little bit of an issue because we've discarded so many cards to this guy. Like, this is notable if Cyril is a problem. Eventually, I'll complete a thought here, but cut me some slack. This is why we play it. So we want to probably do 3-2. So like you. I guess we take that. I don't know if that's actually good. That, yikes. If he has topple, I think we'd just die. And my concern for Galactics is just scarcity. Like, all the dealers could just be like, yeah, these $50 legendaries, they're now $75. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean? Like, man, this really fucking stinks. I think we have to kill this. Now, I don't think all those cards will remain there, but I could see like a one weekend spike of, yeah, these things are a gazillion dollars. Let's assume they were $50. Which, like, because if you go on TCG Player, they're pre-selling for like $30. Let's say that they go up to 50. We'll do that. So they go up to 50 for the weekend, and you want to play CAD Blue. You need almost $500 worth of stuff. Just with it's $450 between Ninth Sister, Chimera, and Pre. And I promise you will not be the only person in the room, hypothetical you, that wants those cards. So I kind of expect that they're going to go up, and is $25 extra each. That adds up very quickly. And then if I think CAD will underperform, but the question is a different blue villain going to then step up?
Hello there.
Like, there's no reason to believe that Boba is going to not run Ninth Sister, right? So you have Boba players and CAD players and possibly a third deck all wanting this card. Then you have, for the blue villain stuff, it's going to be like, you got Krennic decks, you got Aura decks, you have Thrawn decks, you have the CAD decks, you have Mando. Like, some of my versions of Mando, I'm pointing the wrong way. Some of my versions of Mando, we're running the blue villain stuff because why not? You're already running single reactor ignition out of Aspect. Why not Pre Vizsla? We're going to go for this because, again, I don't think he can do anything about it. At least not for a few turns. Or he can just do that right out of the gate. That's up to you, buddy. I kind of want to claim. Well, he can't draw, so does it matter? We're going to do that. So yeah, I don't know. Like, this is based on experience from other games, that if I went to the World Championship and I needed the highest rarity cards for the best deck, or arguably the best deck, he's got a fucking, what's it called? He's got a Let's Call It War. Or a Collateral. So I guess we take our damage, because there's nothing I can do to save them. That would have been a reason to claim, actually. Well, wouldn't have... Yeah, it would have mattered, because I would still have one body on the board. Like, I'd probably still have another Emissary Sheath of Pete on the board. Awkward. We're kind of in trouble here. Because now he can run both of these into Ahsoka. Yeah, this one got away from us. Why did this one get away from us? I think it was because of the green leader. I believe that's what got us. So if he now has, like, Lost and Forgotten or something, we're in deep shit. Do I ambush ground? If he hyperspaces, that's pretty bad. Like hyperspace here is probably game over. That's not dramatically better. Oh, Hera's also really bad. That's almost certainly game. So I think it was this into this was the issue. I didn't like Green Leader in Mando at first, but I think it does make sense. If he has the AN, we're just cooked. Okay, yeah, that's game. We beat a Mando earlier, we lost to this Mando. I don't think any of these cards matter. It could matter post-board to bring in the Unveiled Mites to... Yikes, that's a terrible hand. We lost despite the double Akbar, too. He did have the Constable early for the Chewie, though. So that was kind of unfortunate. He could also have Tree. So, like, that's not great. Like, maybe we can't... I think we go for the Chewie no matter what. And just say, you have to have it. Because I don't think we're in a terrible spot if... it turns out he doesn't have it. Or he does, rather. That's an issue. The issue here will be if he has anything else. That's a fucking problem. She has got to die. Like, if he claimed into a Sentinel, that would be a great play. Okay, that I'm not as concerned about. You kill her. We only have Jar Jar. Hey, you're still gonna leave me with a body. That's fucking annoying. It's like, I could buff. But whatever I buff, he kills. I'm gonna claim. I don't want him having initiative going into Resource 6. But we don't have the Naboo ship to trample over the Lothwolf. Yeah, this is really bad. Him having the Constable on curve for that stuff was pretty brutal. You deploy Jar Jar trigger here. You. Sure, doesn't matter. Fuck my life. Well, you know what? He had it. What? I guess he wanted initiative, because I was going to say, like, you can just deploy and kill, but sure. Yeah, this did not look good. But I also... It's the blue-green variants, not the space ones. Like, I think Mando's actually very good in space aggro. For the most part. Oh, I thought that was going to kill, but whatever. Yep. I should have ran Jar Jar into the Anakin, so that way I could play Blue Leader. That was a mistake. Because now, like, nothing we do matters. In before Lost and Forgotten. That's also bad. Oh my god, dude. I don't see any way that we could possibly win this, but... Oh, I didn't need to resource. He's on resource 10, so now we're walking into a single reactor. He obviously doesn't have it. He has hyperspace. Fair enough. How many fucking... I feel like he's played 9 Let's Call It Wars, but I guess he hasn't played any this game. Or he played the one this game. Alright, we can scoop it up now. You got me. That is concerning. Now, we could... So, if it turns out this is a bad matchup, we could post-board bring in Amidala's, extra Kellerans. I don't know what else we bring in.
Hello there.
But, like, there are other... I'm not wasting time against this. This is it. This is, like, playing the mirror. They're both bad decks.
Hello there.
So is this. One of our locals was super excited. Every set, he gets excited. He's like, this is going to be the Phasma set. And I'm like, they're going to print one first order card and it's going to be bad. And inevitably, that's what happens.
Hello there.
I'm not wasting time against this either. This deck is fucking cringe.
Hello there.
Where are the real decks? Like, this is... Piet isn't terrible, but I'm not, like,
Hello there.
chomping at the bit to test it. Jesus Christ. What is going on tonight?
Hello there.
All right, well, apparently we got to queue through
Hello there.
85... Oh, my God. I need to drink more water.
Hello there.
I don't consider this a real deck, but I'm tired of going through 85,000 things. Like, where are all the fucking CAD decks? I kind of agree with Troy and the ECL guys that, like, CAD is not as invulnerable as people were thinking. But why the fuck are people playing any... Like, why are you playing Beckett Lake Country? What are we doing? This is a pretty awkward turn. Because I don't want to play this, because I want to hold it for the Ahsoka deploy. So, like, we're playing Blue Leader in space? That feels bad. I guess it's passable now? Question mark? Yeah, like, you were damned if you do, damned if you don't. It didn't matter what order or you pass or attack in. I'm still gonna hit you. Still gonna hit you. Claim. We are not much farther ahead. So, and this is kind of notable for the Ahsoka mirror, if that were to happen, where, like, our clock is slower. They're going to have restore. We only have the Jar Jar. Really? So it would have been 5, 6, 7. I guess he didn't have a Sentinel. And then we buff there, so that would be 7. 14's 31. So yeah, you're dead in 3 actions. I don't like to Ahsoka ability first. I usually just auto-deploy. But, I don't know. We'll do one more and then we'll look at the list.
Hello there.
Try and reassess. I guess. I'm pretty sure we're going to get smoked here. Because we are going to be slower than them. Almost certainly. Like, imagine if we were playing against that Luke, but they also get an Ahsoka deploy. Like, that would be catastrophic, right? I think we want to play Blade 3. Blade 3 is kind of important in terms of managing our attack values so that we can buff things. Please play a lightsaber. Grav charge. Do I Han here? Really? We're ahead in the race for now. We'll buff this while we can. I mean, I guess we would get the buff no matter what, because he's clearly going to attack us at some point. What did he do? Oh my god, fuck this guy in particular. You... This. That's the reason to play the bomber, but I don't love the bomber otherwise. We've taken more fucking damage. This is crazy. No, we're not going to have time to Akbar. So that's 6. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. He's gonna kill us in 2 hits, right? Like, there's no... I don't think there's any stopping that. Unless he decides that he's going to be defensive, which I think is incorrect. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, if he just went base there, we're dead. So, did I fuck this up? Like, let's say I put it on Ahsoka. She's a 7 attack. He was a 20. Because if he attacks me and puts me at 24, I'm just dead? So what I think I needed to do, actually, was put it on Ahsoka. Because then I can kill his Ahsoka, assuming he goes face. So, like, he has to then trade. He's at 26. Because I'll still Han. Then he's got to claim into something. Because I would have taken 6, been a 22, possibly 24. Yeah, so I made a mistake there. But we should have won. I wasn't thinking about the math properly. So The Mando ship kind of sucks, but it's nice off of Akbar so that you have a bunch of support ships, but I don't know if that's good enough. Because that thing. I thought it would be better because you can. It's like, oh, I get to immediately use the Ahsoka effect independent of whatever the board state is, but that's not spectacular. But what am I going to run? Fucking Alliance X-Wing? That isn't technically awful because we do need a 2. The odd thing is you want a 2 power guy so that you can be 4 power due to playing a 3 power guy on turn 2. You miss out on a damage if you play a 3 attack guy and then follow it up with Millennium Falcon or something. It's a little awkward if you play shitty Falcon, but I do think that that has potential, at least for space mirrors, if nothing else. I don't know. This feels fine. We drew double Akbar a lot, even though we only have 2. For some reason, I thought we had 3. Blade 3 was pretty good. It lets you micromanage the buff a little bit better. And if nothing else, like, oh, they decided to like pass or do something weird. All right, fine. I just attack you and then I get the fucking token anyway. The problem is pushing Ahsoka through on the deploy turn is a little bit awkward. Because you can't Naboo plus Jar Jar. Because you need to play something to give her Sabo. You might want 3 cables, 2 patrols. Because technically, if you have an Akbar, you could go find one. So, like, if you have no plots, you deploy Ahsoka, do the thing, and then they're like, all right, Sentinel. You could Akbar, go find a patrol, and you dig pretty deep. But the cables are also cheaper. So the alternative version of this that I had previously was with a bunch of 1-drops. Because I did lose to it a little bit. And the 1-drops let you, like, none of them are going to have 3 attacks. So you play 1/1, and then you play a Falcon or Blue Leader or whatever, and then you will pretty much always get a buff. The issue is you get fucking crunched by CAD because you're just going to get blown out by a collateral. All right, Chad, I'm going to take a quick break. Wife needs me to do something real quick, so I'll be right back. Don't go away. I knew this game wouldn't be over before I got back. Why are you playing Phase 3? This card wasn't even played in Premiere when it was legal. Is there a Twin Suns Maul, like, grit tribal deck? Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure it's not. So yeah, I don't know about this Ahsoka list. What do you guys think? People that were watching. We went 8-2 against mostly relevant archetypes. Like Luke and Piet are kind of stretching it. And so is Boba Data Vault and I guess Thrawn. So maybe there weren't that many. But I'd be willing, like if you asked me, are you willing to trade a good Mando matchup for a good CAD matchup? I would absolutely take that trade. I think there's going to be more CADs than Mandos, and I think as long as you're winning and don't end up in the draw bracket or something, that you can dodge the Mandos for the most part. There will be some at the top tables towards the end of the event. Like I'm confident there will be a Mando in the top 8. And Mando may even be a great call for the weekend. The issue is I do not have any fucking idea how you ever beat Blue-Green Hero. Like, it just doesn't work. Player 2 won the game? Oh, I thought Yoda was down here. Yeah, like, I don't know how you beat Yoda either. Hashtag just saying.
Hello there.
So my big open questions for this are, actually, this matchup is one of them, so I'm making some notes here. So we want to go first. I think we can, well, if you open Cyril, we're going to keep the 1-1. I don't like this. Like, I don't love it, because the Cyril is going to be really bad. Sick. You love to see it pass. So this is Vader. This is today. We're gonna resource that, yeah. This is we're going first into Boba Lake. So he could have claimed into a collateral, and that would have been absolutely fucking catastrophic. But I mean, what are you gonna do? We go here. Make a token. We kill your boat. I'm just never going to let him have a ship. We unfortunately are only playing one guy this turn. I possibly could have kept the Grindan to play. Because there's no, yeah, there was no way he was going to let us hold for questioning, right? I'm not in love with that. A little awkward. This is more damage, but I want the extra health in the event he has IG. I'm just going to eat the damage. It's fine. You here. We will... So he's got Punishing One Constable, which means he's dead. I wasn't thinking about how many ships I had to sacrifice for that. I should have left him with the IG, but I was busy worrying about the damage. So we had Punishing One Constable. We want to name the Constable. We'll do that in the event that he offs the Victor Leader. Oh, he toppled. I was like, what the fuck did he do? See if he'll run it back. Nice. There are times where I will just like drop out of the game real quick because like I'm going to do other things, but I like it when people will run it back. I kind of want these, but I'm not sure what I want to cut. We're still working out the board. This is going to be extremely uncomfortable if he starts Cyril once again. Not that I don't think there's a start we have that is not uncomfortable if he starts Cyril. There it is. The chicken fucker himself. It's funny because however you feel about CAD... Why did I resource that? Like, however you feel about the CAD matchup in terms of Vader, like... Or however you feel about Boba, rather, we'll phrase it that way. The CAD matchup is like 10 times worse. Whether you think Boba is favored or Vader's favored, or it's really good, it's really bad, it's whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just catastrophically bad for the other stuff. Do that. We need that to kill whatever ship he plays, basically. Believe it or not, this hold for Ligma not gonna do anything. We'll discard that. I was gonna say he needs 2 ships, but I don't even know if that helps him. For a second, I thought he killed my clone ship and I was going to have an aneurysm. None of those cards matter. So Deidre is a chicken? What? I wasn't looking at chat. I can only presume this is because I said something about a chicken fucker. I don't recall it being Deidre. Or Deidre related. This matchup makes me want to run Operation Cinder in the board. Do you think it's bad, Rollick? You called Cyril a chicken fornicator. I think it's funnier when you call them fornicators. I think it's adorable when you call them fornicators. I don't know who Cyril or Deidre is. Deidre is this woman. I'll take your word on it. I have not, and I'm confident I will be dead and gone without having seen Andor. I don't know if it's bad, but it's niche. Like the first question is Vader a bad matchup? If Vader's not a bad matchup, then absolutely not. If you watch good Star Wars, you'd know. Well, I watched the sequels and she's not in it. I want to see how many people I trigger with that. Got him. Got him. So I am leaning towards, for Vader, not 1-1 openers, because Cyril is super prevalent. I think Vader is a bad matchup for Boba. We want to play one guy per turn. You can board control while pushing damage. I would agree with that, unless you open Cyril, in which case I might just lose. Now, hard mulliganing for Cyril is always an option. The thing is, like, when I've played Boba, like as Boba, I'm saying, and I play into a Vader, I do not feel like I'm ever in danger. Because you do have tools. Obviously, the turn 1 Cyril, they have to respect every single ship. And if they don't have Victor Leader or Galen, that could mean their entire board gets sunk in instead of pushing damage. So, like, you need to prioritize Cyril turn 1, if possible. Obviously, that's not necessarily going to happen. And then higher health ships. So if you can set up Vonreg or Decimator, they can't kill it. And then they're just in a racing position. And then it's a matter of, like, the second you start your turn with 2 ships in play, any turn, it almost doesn't matter, you will topple them. And then it's just a matter of, is the topple sufficient, which it almost certainly will be. That's my big fear as Vader. And I think that, like I said, I kind of want, like, maybe I'm supposed to be running the new ambush ship. I forget the name of it, but it's like Snub Squadron or some shit. It's the new ambush one that pings on attack. So, like, that trades with 5 health ships, which is very important. But there just isn't room. Like, I don't know how to fit all this shit in there. Like, I could cut Galen, but I like the idea of having 5 Victor Leaders. I could cut some 1-drops, like maybe A-Wing gets the axe, but at the same time, there are definitely matchups where I'm like, I would love to open 1-1 here. Or just have extra bodies. Like, anytime that I play a Galen or a Victor Leader, I would like to have extra bodies. But as far from the Boba side, I think higher health ships, obviously, IG-2000 matters, but you do need something to snipe the Victor Leader. Like, the Victor Leader has to fucking die. If that guy sticks, it's very difficult for you to win. Now, it could also be, like, my version of Vader is softer to Boba because a lot of them are running Craving Power main. It's in the board right now mostly as a Forget-Me-Not because I forget cards all the time. If I can figure out the CAD matchup for Vader, I will be on Vader. Because I think I can probably navigate the Boba matchups to a degree. And maybe the cards are going to overlap. So, like, as I'm building this, I need to, like, plan with that in mind, sort of thing. Like I keep saying, I would love to play Ahsoka, but I can't. I think Vader's been. Oh, I already read that. Sorry, I thought another comment came in. I'd like to play Ahsoka, but I don't think she's it. I think it's close, but I think the ships in yellow are kind of bad. And then you're like, I don't know. I keep saying like, and it's annoying me. Every time I say it, it's like nails on a chalkboard inside my brain. For a few years, when I first started streaming and I first started doing podcasts, like my wife and I used to do a podcast about the WoW TCG. And I miss those days. I miss doing that. If I could go back, I would do it way differently. But I would still do it. Just build the fucking Jaws deck. Dude, the Jaws deck is broken. The Dracula deck is so fucking bad. It's like, oh, well, I'll play Matt Horner and I'll ping these two guys. And then because I ping them, I also get fucking resources. Oh, you played a 0-1? Like, what the fuck? The Dracula deck is so bad. So bad. Now, I could be just playing it wrong, or maybe my wife was cheating because, like, it was only the first few games, so, like, we don't know the rules that well. But, like, hold on. Because they just previewed a bunch of stuff. We're going to take a break for a second. Troy, if you are in the ECL Discord, if you were part of their Metafy, listening to them is all... Look, trust me, I have multiple reasons for why I would want you to watch my stream. But it is going to be in your best interest as a player to go watch their shit. You will get the VODs, and it sounds like the VODs are for everybody, but... So, like, there is a new... Like, there's a Dracula unit. Oh, this is in the starter. Okay. So, you know what's funny? There, in the Hellbreak Discord, and so people understand what we're talking about this game. In the Hellbreak Discord, also, like, this is... So, Bloodlust, the keyword Bloodlust is... If you attack and kill a guy, you get that many resources. So the resources in this game are cumulative. So blood is the resource. So this Jaws costs 7. When he kills something and he deals 2 to exhausted guys when on attack, when he kills something, you get 2 resources. You ramp 2. That's fucking insane. I'm sure this card will end up being bad over time, but, like, I don't know. I didn't watch the video about lands because I knew I'd be annoyed. So you'll have to tell me. I like watching their stuff, but there are some topics, like, I refuse to listen to the identical arguments about lands over again because it's wrong. They're a bad mechanic. I understand they were the first, and I understand what the benefits are, but it's still fucking bad. It's still a bad mechanic, and you are making up coping mechanisms to justify your previous emotional, financial, psychological, and social investment in a bad product. I'm tired of explaining this. And I know you guys know. Now I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, yeah, the Dracula starter. The Dracula starter. So, like, the thing I think my wife might have messed up because I wasn't paying attention is this is, like, the aspect cost. So you have to have 2 of these orange symbols, which I forget. I think it's, like, feral is the aspect, as opposed to, like, this is void. I think. No, it's not void. It's something else. But, like, you have to have 2 of these symbols in your resource row. You don't have to spend them. Like, you spend blood as a resource, but you don't have to spend the loyalty here. It's just a threshold. So as long as you have at least 2 of these, you can play a 2 loyalty thing. So that way you have to, like, it's part of the deck building constraints is the point. And I don't know if the card she kept using, Orca, which is the ship from the Jaws movie. It's not these. This looks like they're on the dock. But But in the Jaws movie, like the ship that they go out on to actually fight Jaws is called the Orca. And that thing is a repeatable +2 every turn. And if you buff a sailor, which is like as compared to creature or shark, you get resources when you kill something. So like it was just snowballing the fuck out of me. I guess you can make an argument that they introduced a thing into deck building, but the correct answer is the lowest amount I can get away with 99% of the time. Yes. Yeah, resources on the bottom. That's the thing about lands. They introduce a thing into deck building that can also be introduced by better games. WoW did it with quests, but it's also just a matter of building your deck, quote unquote, properly so that you have an appropriate curve, so that you are hitting certain drops. The whole resourcing, like choosing what to resource, becomes both a simultaneous deck building and in-game decision. And that is true for SWU. That is true for every game that, like, there's other games that use that sort of resourcing mechanic. I don't think lands are even better than Hearthstone, because at least with Hearthstone, and you automatically get a resource, a generic resource every turn, you don't have to do anything. And a lot of other games that try and simplify things will give you a separate resource deck. Like the new version of MetaZoo, which is now going to be on its like third or fourth iteration, but like the second one had a separate resource deck. And then every turn you would choose a resource and you'd put it out into play. And you would never whiff on your resources. I assume they had an intent at some point to have like different resources in the resource deck that would do different things or whatever. Or maybe they start in your regular deck and then they replace cards in your resource row or whatever. Like there's definitely ways to play with it. That is still better than Magic's lands because you still get to play the game. I don't think there's any benefit to lands over Hearthstone. I think they do impact deck building decisions. That is undeniable. But I do not think any possible thing that comes from lands is superior to almost literally any other resource system. Like, you would have to go out of your way to make a worse resource system. Where the appropriate line is 30% of your games are not games. Because one or both players just don't play a game. I don't find that intellectually engaging at all. You've never played Magic? Okay, so Magic is the original trading card game, right? I'm confident you're at least aware of that. Its resource system works this way. Of the different card types, Hearthstone could do other things, Atona. They choose not to. That's the thing. I think that's the difference. If we're saying specifically Hearthstone, you might have an argument. But I think that in general, it's just archetypes. Yeah. I figured that was the case. I read it as archetypes anyway. So lands are a card type. So imagine instead of having unit, upgrade, event, and leader, you also had land. So instead of being able to play any card face down as a resource, you were only allowed to play cards that read land. Once per turn, you can play one resource face down, just like in SWU. So you can play, in that game, you start with 0 and play, different hand size, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not really pertinent. Think of a regular SWU turn after you've started the game. You get to play one card, up to one card, face up as a land. Obviously, there are other effects that would allow you to accelerate that as ramp or do other things, but that the base rule is one land. Doesn't matter if it's non-basic or basic. They are your resource cards. The resources then, instead of being like camera's over here now. Instead of being a 2 like this, it would be 2 and then some symbols, possibly. Some cards are only a generic 2 because there are multiple different types of mana. So imagine if a cunning aspect card, a vigilance aspect card, a aggression aspect card, or command aspect card. Imagine if up here they had the aspects next to the name. So like this card, the Headhunter Squadron, would possibly be 2 generic resources, so you could pay with anything, and then 2 command icons. So you explicitly had, so you pay 4 total, but you explicitly had to have at minimum 2 command icons, like 2 lands that produce it. So if you are playing, say, Command Aggression, and then you drew 4 aggression lands, you would not be capable of playing any of your command cards. If you did not draw, like you had a 4-cost thing, and you did not draw more than 3 lands, you could not play the cards. There were also other things like Mana Burn used to exist. As I understand it, it doesn't exist anymore, but that's like a different thing. So the bottom line is that a bunch of your deck needs to be taken up, usually somewhere between 35 and 40% of your deck needs to be taken up by cards that do nothing but provide you resources. Now, there are some non-basic lands that will either provide multiple resources, different colored resources, or do other effects. But the basic ones are just, you turn it sideways, it provides a resource. And it was specific color of resources. The benefit of this is that you needed to work on the ratios so that you have the appropriate amount of mana to make sure you draw this land by this turn and blah, 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 which is all just fucking math that can be done once and then the problem is solved. It's like trying to redo the proof for how like fucking Basic Addition works. Like once it's done, it's done. And someone did it. You don't even have to fucking do it yourself because the game's been around for 30 years. And it's also based on a deck of cards, so hypermetric distributions have been known for a long fucking time. It's very simple. Like you play a certain archetype, you need this many lands. Full stop. That's why I hate it introduces something in deck building. No, the fuck it doesn't. It's like 10 seconds of thinking, and then it's just always that number. Because the deck sizes don't change. None of this stuff changes. Yeah, but I cut 1 land so I can run 1 tech card so my deck is different. Oh, yeah, big difference. The difference is, compared to WoW, Ori and Star Wars, where I cut 1 card to change a tech card, does matter because it is more likely that you are able to have that influence a game or to go get the card to do something in the games that it would matter. As compared to Magic, where it's like I cut a tech card or I cut a card to play a tech card. Now I literally can't play the fucking game. So is that resource system generally looked down upon in the TCG community? Anybody who does not play Magic would say it's bad, I think. Anyone who plays Magic thinks it is the greatest resource system, and you are literal hellspawn for disagreeing. And I've told this story 1,000 times, but back in 2005 or 6, this was at like the early height of reality TV shows. So Wizards of the Coast, producers of Magic the Gathering and many other products that they've decided to ruin via vulture capitalism, they ran a contest where the grand prize was to be part of the Magic the Gathering design team, which, as you'd imagine, would be coveted by literally 5. Like, I hate Magic, and if they offered me the job, I would take it 10 minutes ago. But as you'd imagine, like the entire fucking community went in on this, right? So they did this big promotion where it was a big contest to try and become a dev, and it was either the first hurdle or the second one where it was explain why Mana Screw, literally being incapable of playing the game because you drew too many lands. Like, you didn't draw any cards that had text. They were just resources. They didn't do anything. So you had resources and nothing to play. Or having all cards and no resources. Like, you drew a bunch of cards that do things, but you didn't draw the resources to play them, so therefore you couldn't play the game. Explain why that is good and a benefit for the game. And I could tell you what the answers are, because they eventually released the answers they were looking for. And naturally, every swinging dick who had ever played Magic had the identical fucking responses. But they're still bad. I do think that the curve good thing is like it changes, it shifts. So it shifts what the constraint is. So Pokemon doesn't have that issue. Well, they all have this issue, but Pokemon does have energy, but they also are effectively vintage Magic, Type 1 Magic, where there are such powerful card draw and tutor effects that, like, functionally, unless someone's playing active resource destruction to deny you resources, you're going to hit what you need. Like, it is extremely difficult. Now, like, you could miss it by a critical turn, and therefore that's why you lost. And that is problematic, but it's unlikely. It is way more likely in Magic to, or at least when I was playing Magic, maybe it isn't the case anymore, but it was way more likely to have that blow up in your face. I do agree with Atona that it does shift the issue of did I draw resources to did I draw an on-curve play, and it just becomes a different math problem. But here's my counter argument that I always say. At least I got to play the fucking game. Like, there are games, every game, we're playing with a deck of cards. There will be games where you cannot win, no matter what you do, just because of the way the cards are stacked. The way your opponent shuffled their deck and the way you shuffled your deck and the hand you drew, it doesn't matter what decisions you make or they make, you cannot win. I mean, obviously, if like somebody has a fucking aneurysm and dies at the table, like you'll win. But you get what I'm saying. Magic also introduces inherently in the rules that you cannot win. And that's before you get to strategy. That's before you get to tactics. That's before you get to matchups. That's before you get to deck composition. It doesn't matter. I find curve good less interesting than having deck diversity the way Magic does, which is weird. You can argue lands are bad, and I would agree that Flood and Screw objectively make Magic a worse game, but there's seemingly a design constraint it creates where combos feel less bad to lose to, and playing for consistency inherently makes control feel controllier. I don't really follow the last part. I disagree about combos. I don't understand where you're getting those from. I think the issue with the curve good games is when it's simply like Hearthstone is a good example of this, where you miss a drop. If you're playing a similar matchup, like you're playing a mirror or pseudo mirror, and it's just like, well, I need to keep pace, and then I miss a drop, you fall behind mathematically. And barring your opponent making an error, which given the dearth of decision points in that game, it's very difficult for that to happen. Like, there's only so many fucking things they could do on any given turn, and most of the time it's go punch your fucking guy, get the value trade, and then hit face with the rest. And that is a function of the game, not the resource system. If you can always curve good into an AB combo structure, it feels bad in a way that you don't get from Magic. I don't feel any differently than I would if I get comboed out in Magic. The fact that it's more consistent makes me feel better in the quote-unquote Hearthstone example of like auto getting resources. It's more frustrating that like you played a shitty combo deck in Magic and you managed to pull it off because I got mana screwed, or because you just, the stars aligned even more than it would have in, say, like, I get annoyed in SWU when somebody's playing like a terrible tech card, or they're playing a terrible deck, but it just happens to work out because my hand was bad, my mulligan was bad, their mulligan was perfect, whatever. When it happens in Magic, it feels even worse because it's even less likely that these things should happen. The only positive argument that I can kind of see for Magic's system is that you are forced in some scenarios to try and salvage what you can from a bad situation. So like you underdrop on turn 2. And this is the thing. You can say all you want about, oh, well, you have to curve out and that is the new variance in these other games. But guess what? You need to fucking curve out in Magic too. If you don't and you're underdropping every turn, you will fucking lose. Unless the deck is like built to do that for some reason. But like, if I get mana screwed and I'm stuck on 4 and you're on 6, guess what? My cards are worse than yours. If I'm playing mono red aggro and I cannot start a curve, Or if it's not a curve, if I need to, like, similar to SWU, if I need to go turn one guy, turn two guys, and I only go one guy, I'm going to lose. It's all the same thing. I agree. It's just different math. Like, if you're telling me that it feels worse in a non-Magic game, I would say that the reason is because you consciously or subconsciously are aware that the math is better for you in the non-Magic game. So it doesn't feel as bad because there is a higher chance that I'm just going to get fucked by the game. And I could understand that argument if that's what you're saying. But it does not, in my mind, and I could understand, like, if people disagree with this, that's fine too. It does not, in my mind, make it more impressive that somebody was able to pull off Cadaverous Bloom. I know I'm dating myself with this, because Magic is inherently more inconsistent. It makes me more frustrated that they were able to do it because that shouldn't fucking be happening. Now, odds are if it was fucking Bloom, they had cards in their lap, but that's also a dated reference. So the only thing that there are drawbacks to the Draw 2. I do think that it is beneficial to the extent that you get to draw a card and resource a card, and then your other card is your play. So, like, you're effectively always playing the game. That is definitely a step in that direction. But I think that it does eliminate it is almost too much of a good thing, because it is now eliminating certain strategies. So, for example, discard decks are fucking bad. They just are. And that is intentional by design, not just because of the baseline rule set, but intentional by the devs that they don't want that archetype to exist. Just like games don't make Stone Rains anymore because people don't like their fucking lands being blown up so that they can't play the game. They don't like their hand being discarded. They don't like all their spells being countered. They don't like all their guys being killed. They don't like sweepers being played. They don't like this. And then guess what? All of a sudden we're playing fucking Hearthstone, where it's just dudes smashing into dudes. It's like a fucking rugby game. And if people like that, that's fine. I'm not going to, like, I will absolutely shit on your hobby, but it's not like you're a bad person. Like, it's more just for the lulz. The issue is, I think you need the WoW TCG system, which had quests, so that was kind of a middle ground. And this was years ago. And I still think it is the best resource system. Everything could be played face down as a resource, just like in Star Wars. You start with 0, you don't start the game with 2 like SWU does. But there are certain cards called quests and also locations. They could be played face up. Quests have a one-time effect where once you activate them, they flip face down, and then it's like pay 4, draw 2 cards. Or under a certain condition, pay 1 and draw a card. Or maybe they tap a guy, maybe they untap a guy, maybe they reanimate something, maybe they make your opponent discard, maybe they make you discard and draw, maybe they all regular card effects. Locations would go into your resource row, and these all count as regular resources. And then they would get counters under certain conditions, like certain triggers, and then you could remove the counters to do stuff, or they might have other effects, or they might do whatever. So they could be a resource, or they could exhaust to do a thing. Like Undercity, for example, is one of the more playable ones, and it was if you could either tap it for a resource or you could exhaust it, remove a unit from the game from a discard, and then heal 2. This card also works somewhat in WoW, is cool. Like the WoW system is this: like you effectively drew 1.5 cards a turn. So it was only a draw 1, but because of quests, you unless somebody was playing a dedicated discard strategy to deny you the opportunity, you pretty much always had options. And the options, it was like a plethora of options, and it was the constraint was the resources and the tempo of the game. So it was, I have all of these things available to me. What is the best one, and how do I navigate the rest of this game? And it always felt like I'm doing things and making choices. In SWU, it is edging towards what Atona is complaining about, in that you must curve out in this order, and your opponent must not have this thing that they are mathematically most likely going to have. because of the choices that they've made about constraining card types, constraining gameplay loops, and the draw 2 system. Like, just the way the math works with a 50 card deck and draw 2, you're going to see things in a certain period of time. And then it's also compounded by their incessant love of printing shitty fucking cards. And I mean that on every end of the spectrum, where it's like they are actually bad to why the fuck does this exist? Because it's oppressive. Also, that diversity is important. I don't need discard to be good, but I do think categorically stating that should never ever be viable for the rest of eternity is going to into questionably limiting space. Yes. I mean, you can make the same argument about combo. Like, I am of the opinion combo doesn't have to exist as an archetype. Aggro, mid-range, control, ramp, for example. I hate the limited format today for it. For what? What are you talking about, Larry? But, like, if you play any game, I played multiple games that have done or are trying to do what SWU is doing with their modern design ethos. And I think it is great for the bottom line of the game. I think the game will make more money by doing this than not doing it. However, the issue is the game is less fun. Shitty cards, well, I mean, it's limited. You're forced to play shitty cards. It's part of the reason I hate limited. Like I said, I dislike limited because there's no theme other than I have better stat blocks than you do. It also ties into what Atona is talking about. Like, limited feels like I'm playing Hearthstone. There is more decision making than Hearthstone, of course, because you choose what to resource. And if you're drafting, you're drafting. But, like, I think limited in any form is effectively playing Hearthstone. Just with less coin flips. Getting so many pings in Discord. What the fuck is this? Who did I upset now? I mean, you're playing sealed. Like, the pools are going to happen. I heard somebody at Patrick's pre-release open CAD Blue, as well as Pre-Vizsla, Chimera, and at least 2 Commandos. The fuck are you supposed to do about that in limited? Like, you lose. I can't wait for sealed, like a sealed sector for this set. It's going to be miserable. It's going to be so fucking... And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use it as justification to not ever change the rules so that you can choose your leader in base, which is absolutely fucking idiotic. Make a better limited set. Don't make shitty set. It's not hard. Like, have there been good and bad Magic sets, WoW sets, Verse sets? Pick a game. Yes, absolutely. Some are good, some are bad, some are better, some are worse. But none of them have, none that I'm aware of, have been as bad as Star Wars has been. Yes. So they just changed it. The previous rule was this. You get 6 packs. You play what you open. Except, and this is the funniest thing to me. So we were at a 600 or 800 person sector. So we'll call it, like, it's not a Pro Tour, but like a Pro Tour level event. And they announced, if you didn't open the base that you wanted, you can trade with people around you. And I'm like, why do you not just have stacks of the fucking bases? So I was already annoyed. But the leaders, you were not allowed to trade, obviously. You have to use what you open. The problem is, every limited format for this game, I think since set 1, there have been absolutely like tier -1, not even tier 0, like tier -1 leaders. And then everything else is like ass. And it's like huge, huge, huge canyons between them. The new rule is you're going to get 8 packs. So guess what? Everyone who opens the broken ones, it's just going to be a matter of who opened the more broken pool. instead of just fixing it so that everybody could use any leader they want. And if it turns out, guess what? Cad Bane's fucking broken and the top 64 are all Cad Bane. That sounds like a fucking design problem to me. That doesn't sound like it's an issue with the format and changing the rules to force people to use shittier leaders. The worst part is like I had multiple problems with my pool where if I went hero, I had no 3 drops. If I went villain, I had no 4 drops. But there were people around me that are like, I opened, just because of the way the packs open, I opened all these villain cards, but I only opened hero leaders. So you literally could not, you could splash them, but they cost 2 extra. So we're talking about curves, way off curve. And then the reverse was also true, where people opened all hero cards and then only opened villain leaders. So it's adding an additional layer of variance into sealed deck. It's just ridiculous. And what's hilarious is hypothetically, this would be like variance on top of variance on top of variance. But now they have non-aspect or non-hero villain leaders. I guess that aspect is morality. I don't know. Whatever. So I don't know why the lights keep flickering in this. Like the lights aren't changing. I wonder what's going on with the camera. So like now they are rare. So it is extremely unlikely for this to happen. But hypothetically, somebody could open 6 or 8 rare leaders and be literally incapable of playing 2/3 of their pool. Maybe not literally incapable. They could play it, but they would all, like their turn 1 plays, they would be incapable of playing until turn 3. Because of the way the game works. Which is like, look, if that happens, you should just drop and go get a lottery ticket. Or maybe you burned all your luck and you should just hide in your basement because you're going to get struck by lightning 5 fucking times walking home or something. But it is comical that it could happen. And it's crazy to me that I have played in WoW events where you could just choose any fucking leader. Choose any of them. Any of the ones that are in the set, you get to play those. What's the fucking problem? Oh no, Cad Bane will be everywhere. Then don't fucking make Cad Bane. There's your fucking answer. Before Cad Bane, it was fucking Leia. Before Leia, it was something else. Before that, it was something like every fucking set has some leader that's tier fucking 0. Anyway. What was this? Oh, yeah.
Hello there.
Big Chunguses. Let's get it. There's been a lot of Boba Dataval popping up lately. I'd like a real turn 1 play, please. So the issue here is this guy has chunkier. He has significantly chunkier space units. Like the green ones are kind of thick. This reminds me when we figured out going Death Knight and Draft was good, even if you have 0 class abilities, paying 2 and discarding a card to get a 3/3 was better than every 2 drop on curve. Yeah. I wish you'd big all over my Chungus. What does that mean? What does that mean? But that was like, imagine, Daytona, if that was every format, every time. Like, yes, were there better and worse WoW TCG draft formats? Of course. Wonder if I guess I should have attacked. I normally attack. What are we doing? I don't post the YouTube VODs. But like, yes, there are better and worse formats. That's fine. It's going to happen. But like, what if it was that bad? And I don't even know if like, that's kind of annoying. Let's see if he claims. He should. So Topple kills this if he deploys ground. You can also just do that. So what else did he have? Outer Rim. I knew there was something there. I'm not going to play these other ones because I expect him to kill the Victor Leader and I want to replay it. I miss WoW, actually. It is the best. It's not even close. Like, it's not even remotely close. I miss it like literally every day. Every time I play a different game, I'm like, man, I could just be playing the WoW TCG. Imagine if I could still be playing the WoW TCG. Yeah, this game wasn't fucking over. I think he needed to claim that one turn, because then he could have possibly set up a kill on this. Like, him attacking like that did nothing for him. So the thing I will say, okay, so I do kind of want to rant and rave about this. There might be some nostalgia at play there too. I played it during a really good time of life, generally speaking. I think my life was probably, like, that was one of the better times of my life. And I do think that that's part of it, but I also think that it definitely hit at the correct time in my life, but I think objectively it is the best card game. I enjoyed that TCG very much, especially team raids at boss events. Yeah, like, I think even those are better than any of the PvE things that other games have come up with. It basically all just went to shit when they turned to Cryptozoic. But anyway, the thing I was going to go on a tirade about is I did talk about the Hellbreak rules a lot and how I think they're too complex. I think that there's actually a problem there in terms of how it's going to work for newer, either to TCGs in general, getting new people into the game if you're not like a heavily entrenched TCG player. I think that if you aren't, like, if you don't want to do this specifically because you want to do this, you're going to bounce. Even experienced TCG players are going to be like, why are there so many like weird little finicky things? But I think that it does do something that the WoW TCG did that I think is a good benefit, a great benefit for people who want to play good card games. And that is, there are a bazillion fucking decision points. So, for example, this guy, using him as the example, like, this part of the text, you can see like the type line. Okay, Dracula's an undead vampire. Shocker, I know. But this is Prowl and this is Haunt. There's another one called Foresee. So this guy can attack. So they have a lane system similar to SWU, but you can play anything to either lane. Your leader starts the game in play and is technically exists in both lanes. Your leader and your base are combined. And they can flip. So there's basically an attack mode and a defense mode on it. They start in the defense mode. But because you can do this, you can scheme. When you scheme, it's kind of like attacking, but you get these other effects instead of just doing damage to something. So you're just like, well, I'm going to scheme here. And then for Haunt, it means it generates a special resource for that particular site. Prowl is you do indirect damage to your opponent. It basically functions the same way as Swoo. Foresee is you look at the top X cards of your deck, and then you can put them on the bottom or back in any order, depending on how many. Like if you foresee one, you just look at the one. There's also a decision point with resourcing because any card can be a resource, and then each of these generate different resources on the bottom. Like this generates this loyalty, 1 blood, and 1 malice, which is a second resource system in this game. This generates 1 feral, 1 blood, and 1 malice, but some of them generate 2 blood. Some of them generate extra cards, like you draw extra cards per turn. There are 2 different resources. One is to play cards, and then malice, the green one, is used to create certain effects. Now, there's also malice that goes onto locations, and then you can win locations, and the locations may have effects. There's like, every turn, there's like a billion fucking decision points. There's so many decision points. And that's why I think that this has potential to work. The problem is I think that many decision points, and it all feels a little disjointed at times, at least when you read it. I think when you play it, it's not that bad. At least for me, but I played, as I was telling people in that Discord, I played like 60 plus card games, physical and digital. Like I played a ton of games. So like most of these things I've seen in other places. Like, oh yeah, well that's this. Oh yeah, well that's this. Can I repeat all that? I mean, I can if you really want, but I assume you're trolling me. But I think like this game could do something cool. I think it's going to fail because I think people that, again, are not hyper invested are going to bounce. They're going to go, oh my God, there's so many things to remember. Or they're going to go, oh my God, there's so many decisions. They're not going to literally think that thought, but that is going to be the drive. It's like the game. They're just going to go, this is confusing. Well, what's confusing about it? I don't know. There's just too much going on. That's the response you're going to get. And people are just going to go, I'm out. And that's before you consider that people have like other games they want to do. Trolling theme sounds fun, but that's so much for me to think about it. For like, and you're a player that's planning on going to the World Championship for Star Wars Unlimited. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot. And I hope that it succeeds because I don't want things to fail. But just from experience, it is very difficult for me to look at this and go, yeah, that has what it takes. I think it has more, it's throwing up more roadblocks in its own way than it's helping itself with a lot of this stuff. But it is very nice in terms of a throwback. Oh, hit the wrong thing. It's very nice in terms of a throwback that
Hello there.
You do like, I miss games where it wasn't like, well, there's really only one decision here. Or the decision is just a coin flip. Like that's one of the, to me, Hearthstone is a game where there are not commonly a lot of decisions. It's like you either do this or you do this. And that's it. Like, and it's based on, for the Swoo people, it's like playing, Piet. You count your rocks, you play the card that has an equal cost to your rocks. That's it. And then there's a little bit of learning of, oh, well, what is a value trade? Or, oh, this matchup, this is their one weird trick, which is kind of like how Star Wars works, where it's like, oh, well, there's one weird trick you'll never guess. Whereas other games, you do get, like, there's a lot of decisions. Now, it isn't to say more decisions is necessarily depth, but you do get, like, you can have complication and you can have depth, and they aren't necessarily the same thing, but they are intertwined, where you do kind of need a little more complication in order to ensure that there is depth to a game. That isn't to say that you have to have a complicated game, but if you make something incredibly simple, it is very, very difficult to have meaningful depth. The depth of Hearthstone is, do I remove a plus smaller card I happen to have in hand, or do I play a bigger card in my hand? I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what Swoo is. What did he do? Oh, he shrunk. Like, that's basically what Star Wars boils down to a lot of the time, because of the decisions they've made. I should have played Hold. Well, maybe not. I don't think he's gonna... Alright, we'll claim now. Hearth Swoon. Yeah, exactly. If this guy is Constable, you got me. Dude, everyone is main decking Constables. Is this actually a concern? In all seriousness, like... So he's... Oh, he's just dead. I was going to say, like, I thought he was digging for a... the fuck's it called? Hyperspace, but... So to me, he's fucking... Well, yeah, I didn't look at the life total. Like, I don't... One of my big flaws as a player is I'm not always checking for lethal. There are times where I do. But when I'm streaming, I'm absolutely not. I'm just like doing stuff, and I'm like trying to think about the turns of, well, what's the general appropriate sequencing sort of thing. And even then I fuck that up, especially when I'm streaming. But even when I play IRL, that's one of my mistakes. It's like, oh shit, if I had done this, I probably would have killed him this turn, sort of thing. But so my issue with Swoo and a lot of other games is when I'm playing a game, I want to be making meaningful decisions. And that is a very vague statement. I've gotten into arguments with people in my Discord and other places about, like, well, what is a meaningful decision? Well, it's a decision that impacts not just my future decisions, but also my opponent's future decisions. Maybe, and future being like current as well. Where I did this, therefore you can no longer do that, and you must do these other things. And it's not necessarily following the script of, this is the matchup, I play this thing on this curve, and therefore you need to do this because either you mulligan for it or you lose. And that's what it feels like Swoo boils down to, where I think at this point in time, and it wasn't always the case, but it feels like at this point in time, we've been in this state for a while, that the game comes down to, did you mulligan for this thing? If you did not, you will lose the game on whatever turn that thing was now relevant. Like, if I placed Vader into CAD and they go turn 2 collateral, it is a dramatically different game than if they do not hit collateral. Now, you could say that about any game, because if you're playing Magic and it's like, oh, well, they didn't turn 2 remove my guy, or they didn't turn 2 counterspell this thing, or they didn't do whatever, or they missed this land drop because it adds the additional variance.
Hello there.
That is also another factor. But it feels like Swoo has gone out of its way to reduce the quantity and especially the type of decisions that can be made in the game. Because they just want it to be a fucking rugby match. They want dudes bashing into dudes. That's all they want. You're not allowed to do anything else. Ever. Forever and always. Did I draw my spell snare and did they draw their cub? It's one of the biggest questions standard right now. So many games are like that. I mean, that's the way it works sometimes. This is so awkward. This matchup is like close to fucking unwinnable. It's crazy. possible I'm supposed to play the shuttle. I'm not sure. Is Spellsnare still legal? Did they reprint? They must have, like, they obviously reprinted it because it wouldn't. It's not possible for it to still be legal. So if I play this, he could make a mistake. But this is safer. I don't think Spellsnare was even ever legal within the time frame of when I played Magic. Oh, come on. I worked so hard for him to just go Kit Fisto's Fistfucker 5000. This is how I get demonetized on YouTube. I feel like I played this very well, and then, like, alright, well, matchup is just fucking unwinnable. What are you gonna do? That might be a thing. Could be a thing there. He's got to have the Senta now, right? Like, there's no way he doesn't. Yep. I had to kind of hope that he did something silly, which, like, playing defensively is kind of silly here. He can just race me. If I HFQ, on what turn? Because he took initiative this turn. Plus, I can't hold for questioning something in his resource row. On resource 5. I mean, like, I hypothetically could get it from him, but most likely I can't. Because, like, wait, what? Tandem Assault! Alright, buddy, you got me.
Hello there.
This is Mo the Monster. I'm going to keep the interaction. I kind of want this, though. I don't know. Promise you it's not me. I stopped talking about that card. Wait, which card? What card are we talking about? I looked away from chat for a second. Now I'm extremely confused. I'm just gonna underdrop this turn. Like, there's no way that he lets me tap this guy. Oh, Tandem Assault. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Testicles. This prevents 4 damage. I think we got to get this online first. If he has a second blue leader, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh my god. My brother in Christ. Fuck you in particular. I do think that this is correct to include. We're never going to remove that, so I'm just going to resource it. It's just a 4-cost 3/3 now. I do think this is actually a good adaptation to try and fight CAD. I just haven't been able to test it to see if it's actually useful. Because like I said, you can turn off commando, but then they just ping an attack. It's like, okay, I guess I just die. I guess I'll die. This does change the Hu Yang a little bit. What did he do? Oh. That's very relevant. What do I name out of hand? I don't even know. You're gonna deploy here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna trigger. Tap him. I'll just pass the Grendon. We may have needed Elzar, but I didn't feel like counting. I never feel like counting. If you play against me, I'm not gonna count. I'm just doing shit. The fuck is this? Oh, it's Ahsoka. I was like, what card is this? I think we're dead in 3 hits, which means we can't kill him fast enough. I'm gonna name Victor leader. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We still have lethal, but I think that does make it so he gets us in time. It in fact does. So we lost due to double Victor leader. Or double Galen, rather. You know what's funny? Is if I had played the... if I had held this and played it, he'd be dead because he wouldn't be able to stop both. We'd have 1 less damage from this, but we'd either have a clone ship that's active or Victor leader still alive. So he'd be yeah, he would have been dead. That's actually relevant to know in that scenario, because that's like not a...
Hello there.
When people talk about, oh, well, just you need to test because you can't theory craft everything, I don't always agree. I think you can, given enough time, figure everything out. The problem is no one has that amount of time. Like, it's just not going to happen. So you do need to play the game and test. So that's a terrible start. I've seen this name before. I just don't know who that is. I think you're going to collateral me. I should have resourced differently then. So what I want to do is, I guess, this. Interesting. I kind of don't hate that. That's kind of cute in terms of like... let's do that. He's ahead on damage. Holy shit, man. That's a cool adaptation. Like, I like that. Probably have to tap this guy. Oh my god. Dude, War Juggernaut! What the fuck? Get out of here. What else did he have? War Jug, Dev, Justifier. I think he's gonna jug first action. We're gonna take the damage. I know you have no plays. You can just claim. It's fine. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's 8. You got your negotiations. I don't even know that that's good in that deck. I like the Gorilla Soldiers. I do not like War Juggernaut. What the fuck are you hitting with jugs? What are, like, why? What other matchup does War Juggernaut matter? I really want Balin to work, but I'm pretty sure this guy is dog shit. When I was thinking last night, and I was saying this in Discord, I'm like, oh, well, what if you're in both lanes? The reason I was thinking of it is because of Balin. I'm like, oh, well, you could be in each lane. Whatever lane they don't oppose you in, that's the one you buff. But, like, he's just not good. I also was trying to think of a Gideon list with Honor-Bound Partisan, because I'm like, if you run Gonk, Honor-Bound Partisan, Imperial Dark Trooper, and then like some other Imperial turn 1 guy, you can quote unquote guarantee that you are going to have 4 resources on turn 2. But there's, except for Expendable Mercenary, there's like dog shit fucking turn 4 plays. I don't even know what you'd want to ramp into. Because I was thinking, oh, well, you can run the Overwhelm guy that's a 3-2 and then just trade with their guy, hopefully, because it could be a 2-4. And then you power out whatever. Except that's still going to be bad. And Honor-Bound Partisan obviously isn't an Imperial. Gonk is not an Imperial. And even the stuff that, like, oh, great, I powered out a ST shuttle. I'll have shielded when I deploy Gideon. Well, you're probably going to fucking lose before then, so it doesn't matter. I think the weirdest thing is they do not want certain archetypes to exist. And you can tell from design, and I'm not even talking about like, oh, well, they don't want discard to exist. I'm saying like they don't want villain space aggro to work outside of Vader. They don't want villain ground aggro to work, just full stop. They don't want hero control to work because they refuse to give it meaningful top end. And it's just weird that they keep falling into this trap of like, you could have made like the Radis to help, like another Radis or another Home One or another, like, pick whatever the fuck rebel ships there are. Pick one of those. How did that fucking Balin die? Just punched him with Vader. What's the problem? Balin's like just not big. How do you have Balin in the same set as fucking Vader? This guy won anyway. I gotta look at this card again because I keep seeing it pop up. So here's a thought. I think Voltron shit is probably pretty good, depending on whether it has Saboteur on ground or it's in space, right? Is there, like, Beguile is not very common. Is twin laser turrets, so say you're playing against a good CAD, not against fucking green-red CAD. So you go strike ship, they ping, claim. Because if you're going second, well, you'll get initiative if they ping, no matter what. So whatever, you play strike ship, they ping, you claim. You go twin laser turret. It's now a 0-4. They ping. It's a 0-3. You attack for 5. They tie dagger. You claim. You will get another attack. So you've done 10, but you will have 0 board state after that. Is that sufficient? Because your next guy, they could then claim and no glory. So, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's good enough. Every time I see this card, I feel like I'm missing something. So Hera and Grogu are the Store Showdown cards. Raleigh, you want to buy my serialized Zeb? Jesus, that Shin Hati art looks terrible. Come on, you could try and collect every serialized Zeb Aurelios. Gar Saxon, huh? I just want to see Balin succeed, and I don't know. I don't think it's really there. He was not on my radar at all until I saw better players talking about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll pay attention. And now every time I see it, I'm like, man, this guy is a disappointment, and I don't understand what people saw in it. Come on, you bastard. I'm trying to do something else at the same time. Talking about theory crafting, bro. I want to continue testing, but my brain keeps coming up with stuff. I mean, I am obviously in the same position, or similar position, but I was also asking if you wanted to buy my serialized Zeb so you could start your collection, but that's a different discussion. Did this work? I guess this worked. We'll see. Yeah, I know. I saw your post. That's why I said that. I don't feel like there's more theory crafting to be done. Like, I think things are discovered. I keep going back to, there was a post on the SWU Reddit months ago now where somebody's like, oh, there's so many surprises in the metagame. And I'm like, there have never been surprises in this game. I mean, there are surprises in, oh, Akbar won a PQ, but then like you think about it, or like Akbar doing so well, I guess is a surprise. But like, and I mentioned this the other day when I was streaming in my Discord, like, the average SWU player is very bad. Now, for you to win a large event, so I guess like Akbar winning a major is surprising. Like, I don't think I would have listed Akbar in my top 50 leaders that would win it, but I guess maybe it probably would have been top 50 because it did win PQs at least. So like past a certain point, I'm just going to start listing everything that won a PQ, or won some PQs. But like, I distinctly remember people arguing, because this was before that they were like, well, Akbar won a PQ. And I'm like, yes, I could win a PQ. Well, not me, but like, you could win a PQ with a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh deck. People are terrible. Then someone else is like, well, what about the Kylo deck? Nobody came up with that before. And I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking? Everybody was working on a Kylo combo deck. They just came up with the correct glue cards, which is not to like downplay what the Bothans did. I don't mean it like that. But like, this goes back to the discussion earlier where there aren't that many things you can do in Star Wars Unlimited because they don't let you do anything fun. Like, they just don't let you. You're not allowed to do things. And they make such clearly, like, the gulf between good and bad cards is enormous. Sometimes bad surprise decks take events. Bunny was easy to interact with, and wow, nobody knew what it was when it debuted. Well, there's a difference between, like, the Akbar deck was known before the major, but nobody's preparing for it. So, like, yeah, one weird gimmick. And the thing is that and this is the part that's going to sound weird if you haven't played a ton of competitive games, but the reason that bad decks succeed is because there are so many bad players in Star Wars Unlimited. If you went to a Magic event and you did not play a tier 1 deck, it is unless you broke the format, it is extremely unlikely that you make it out of like the 2-2 bracket. Or at least that's the way it was when I was still playing Magic. Maybe things have changed. And the reason that matters is if Akbar got to buoy itself on the back of like, hey, I play, and I don't know if this is the case, and I'm not trying to crap on people, but like, if they got 9 free wins because they played against dingbats, and then they started hitting like, oh, well, my weird gimmick just lines up well into this string of tier, like even tier 1, tier 0 decks are going to have this one weird thing that beats them. And it's a card game. So like you get lucky in one round, and then the next 3 or 4 rounds you play things that just cannot line up well against you. Whereas if everybody was playing tier 1 decks the whole way through, the gauntlet is too intense. It is too much pressure on a shitty deck to actually get lucky that many times in a row. Now, it is still very impressive that it was able to do it, and that other decks have been able to do it as well. But there is a point where, like, there are just shit decks, and yeah, people get fucking lucky. How else did I win 2 PQs? I can't believe, like, this is so frustrating watching this. I'd be tilted as fuck if I was the Spaling guy. I don't think you played for it. Like, why the fuck did you AN this turn when he's obviously going to murder your guys? I don't know. Skill? No. That is untrue. Inaccurate, one might say. I'm very curious if the ECO guys have cooked up an Armorer deck. Like, if they all show up with Armorer, I'm going to die laughing. And no, not that, like, infinite loop that the one guy came up with. No one's buying those fucking showcases for $1,000. That's not happening. That's just pre-release hype. I think there's another thing with SWU, from what I understand, where the majority of decks play along a similar axis. If everyone is just mid-range dude piles, you get there by your opponent not doing curve good. Yes. It's less about curve good, I think. That does play in. But it's the same thing in Magic, where, like, because the decks homogenize into mid-range soup a lot, and they aren't doing, like, there isn't massive differentiation between these things. This happened to me at Galactics last year, where we're both playing mid-range soup. We're on turn infinite. They drew 2 live cards, and I drew 2 turn 1 plays, which is technically I didn't curve correctly, but, like, it's on turn infinite, so curve doesn't feel like the appropriate description there. A worse dude pile can get there if your soup has a bit more salt on that day. I mean, it can happen. It isn't true across the board, because there are, like, now there's an actual real control deck, and it is a real deck. It has, unfortunately, auto losses, which I guess is good for the general meta, or people would, like, leave in droves. I'm legit worried if the Armorer is real. There's 0 mass upgrade removal except for Kit Fisto Ligma. Just kill their guys. Like, they can't play upgrades if all their fucking guys are dead. We're gonna fucking day 9 them. What if my opponent has a Zealot, Immortal Carrier, Void Ray, High Templar, fucking Dark Templar army? Just go fucking kill him, because he's too busy masturbating to fucking build a defense. He's over there playing with himself. Just slap the living shit out of him. Like, what are we doing? It's the fucking day 9 school of thought for StarCraft 2. Also, randomly, Hu Yang will just body the Armorer, which is hilarious. I'm 100% going to get beat up by Thrawn 4 and get blown out by Legacy runs. Because the guy's going to hit, like, triple Legacy run plus Chimera or the new 3-cost thing. And I'm also going to get beat up by, like, Armor piles where like they just happen to hit everything they need. Like the way that I think armor, like, and by armor piles I mean like they go turn 1 Han, and like I'm playing Vader, I can't deal with it, and then they just put like a Darksaber on it, and it's like, okay, well, if I don't draw a tap, and I'll just never draw taps or something, and like the Han will become a fucking 15-13 and kill me because he's just gonna Voltron the fuck out of it, and I can't beguile it. Darksaber isn't as bad as Chewie, but it is absolutely another form of fucking cheese, and I kind of want to play it just because it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna fucking cheese people. Stop me. Greatest feeling is playing. Anytime a Thrawn 4 loses, an angel gets its wings. I don't know why like, it's funny because people are like bent the fuck out of shape about Topple, and I don't think Topple's a problem. Because I think Topple is very interactable. I think Legacy Run is a problem. And Topple's interactable because, okay, it's obvious. Kill the fucking ships. Legacy Run is like, it doesn't matter what you do, it's clearing your board. And it's a one-sided wrath that can come down on turn 3. Like, the appropriate answer is to wrath your board. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to run somebody into it, assuming you even can. And if you can't, you've just lost on the spot. I find that infinitely more frustrating than... It took me a while to figure out why. Because I'm like, they're both one-sided wraths. What's the fucking difference? And I'm like, well, you can interact with one, and the other one is, you get wrathed anyway. It doesn't matter. It also annoys the shit out of me that that deck is, like, unplayable if you don't find fucking Legacy Run. Oh, that reminds me, the guy who we played last night, I don't know if he's in chat, that was playing Thrawn 4 Data Vault. He reached out to me. He hit me up on Facebook, which, for the record, I do have a Facebook account, but like, don't message me on there. I have not logged into Facebook in like the last 6 years, I think. Legacy Run is essentially OB, except less interactable. It is literally, you can't, because OB, you probably had to play it on, like, you have guys. Okay, well, I trade with your guy before the OB, right? Like, you had plays around OB, and also the card pool was different. So, like, oh, they OB'd, yes, that's bad. Okay, I refill with Poe. Or I fucking wrecker you, or whatever. Like, and OB also was not 12. It is extremely likely that your opponent OB'd for 6 and then still didn't kill everything. Now, if you Kira OB'd, it is more likely that you kill everything, but even then you might not. Yeah, somebody must have messaged him and told him that I was trying to build the deck on stream last night, and so he was trying to send me the list. He's in the KTOD Discord because I pinged him in there. My wife actually, like, she used to manage, like, when we were doing content together, she would manage the Facebook side because I hate Facebook, and so like she has the account, and she saw it and sent me the message, and I'm like, I didn't understand what the hell was going on at first, and then I realized what was happening. Camtono. See, like, that's kind of an interesting card, but, like, ooh, you are running the Unfettered. That's kind of sick. I like that. I like that. Because I think this is how armor is supposed to work. I don't know that it's good because he's going to do 9 here, and who cares? Because he shrinks back down. Like, it didn't mean anything. Like, oh, you're at 18. Well, I'm going to deploy Luke and fucking punch you right in the wiener. Notably, he can't kill either guy, which is kind of funny. Personally, I would not do that. Well, maybe. It's going to be really funny if the Luke player, it's just like either Sentinel or Lost or Forgotten. The sad thing is, like, in order for Camtono to really matter, you probably do have to run that terrible Star Arcana map card. Wait, what is this? That cannot possibly be playable. Is Paz Vizsla, like, kneeling in this art? I don't understand what's happening in this art. Is he squatting? Like, is he taking a dump? How heavy do you think the Mandalorian pants are? Because, like, those thigh armor things are, what are they, like, glued onto leather pants? I hate Star Arcana. Well, the card's bad. But it's kind of necessary in this deck, unless you build the deck to everything is 2 cost or less, so, like, you will always do it. He's healing Mando. How is he healing Mando? What is happening in this? Like, I legitimately, what is happening in this art? Hold on, we're going to look this card up, because now I'm fucking annoyed. Oh, I couldn't see it in the little one. He's, like, spraying his ass. When did Mando set his ass on fire? Is this the Star Wars diarrhea cure? Chicken? Wait, is he spraying chicken rub on him? I don't understand what that means, Larry. It's back to spray? But that doesn't answer the question of, like, why did he take an ass injury? When did that happen? Is this fucking Forrest Gump? He got shot in the ass? Oh, he literally set his ass on fire? Like, he didn't properly angle right, so he literally burned his ass. That would be very funny. This is so stupid. I don't feel like testing anymore tonight. I'm just observing some games for a little while until I decide to call it a night. Palpatine ECL? I don't know about that one, Chief. Like, has anybody seen anything cool? I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is not it. Wait, Vader Blue. I think Vader Pilot Blue. Battered Hull Crash? Oh, no, that's it from him. Oh my god, this Vader Pilot is pissed. I don't hate the ATST thing. I really want to play that card because I think it looks dope as fuck. When he cut his ass with the Darksaber? Why did he cut his ass? Does Mando not understand how swords work? It's just a big knife. Like, it shouldn't be that complicated. You heard it here first. Mando doesn't understand how swords work. I kind of suspected he wasn't exactly the sharpest crayon in the shed, but he can't wield it because it's heavy as shit. Yeah, but if I pick up a sword that's too heavy, my first thought isn't to shave my ass with it. Like, what? I don't understand how he got from point A to point B. Like season 2, episode 1, or season 3, episode 1 when it happens. Yeah, but the magic sword's first thought is to stab him in the ass. Like, I feel like you guys are missing the core component of the question here. Why does he have an ass injury? Like, it doesn't make sense. The logistic, like, if he hurt his foot or like hit his knee or something, like if you're chopping wood and you miss, you're gonna fucking hit yourself like in the crotch or in the leg. It's not on his ass, it's on his, yeah, but it's like his hip that he was spraying. Like, how do you even do that? Like, it is so The mechanics of trying to make that sort of injury happen with a sword seems extremely difficult. Watch the clip? No. I don't watch Star Wars. Vaughn's magic sword made him get drunk and beat the shit out of him. The sword is easy on Mando. Well, it's different magic. It's bootleg Disney magic. What is happening in this game? I haven't even been watching. I don't care anymore. Somebody tell me a fun deck that's happening. Like, why are there so many Shin Hati decks? There's so many Shin Hati decks, and I do not get it. Also, why Garindin? That seems like it's not going to work out with this particular plan. I saw a post in No Fears Discord, and I'm like, oh, is there somebody have a cool idea? No. They're asking about Darksaber and Ahsoka, and I did try it early on. Like, I don't think it solves any of the issues that Ahsoka has. Like, I think the biggest thing that I get into arguments with people about is they're like, well, why don't you play this card? It's like, because it's not good. And they're like, but it's good in this one weird scenario. And it's like, yes, but that is not the majority of scenarios. Like, it's not what you'd expect to happen most of the time. And it also doesn't, it often is win more because, like, you probably would have fucking won that game anyway. Or you win that matchup. Typically, it's just in this weird scenario you managed to win it because of this thing or only because of this thing. It's not solving a problem with with the deck as a whole. So, like, Ahsoka has a Sentinel problem. How the fuck do you get past the Sentinels without losing? It, like, I think the blue version is fine into, like, I guess you could say it has a Vader problem because you just don't have a whole lot of space interaction other than playing T6, which I think, based on my testing, has to be in there. But I do not understand how you solve the Sentinel issue or the issue of they just interact with your guys. So, for example, if they curve Merok into Commando, I think you auto lose because those guys will punch your guys. And then even if you play, say, Amidala on 5, you're going to get initiative, possibly. And they're still going to have a fucking Sentinel. Because Mog did a video on it. What, about Shin? I mean, Mog does a video on, like, fucking everything. Like, every other day I turn around, there's a new Mog video, and it's just like, where do you find this shit? I mean, this CAD just got... Oh, this might be the CAD we played. No, we played a CAD yellow. Why are people playing War Juggernaut? We played a CAD yellow with War Jug. Also, why did this guy play, like, no cards this game? I was not paying attention to this at all. What the fuck happened? Oh my god. If the Shin player loses anyway... Now I have no excuse. Check Discord. What am I looking at? I'm still not going to watch it. I'll probably watch it later. And by later, I mean when I close up the stream, if I remember. I have to do some work on my game. Does War Jug work with CAD? I mean, it's not bad, but, like, again, this is one of those, like, what does War Juggernaut do that you can't already do. Did you really need another 6-drop that pings? Like I remember seeing people bring it up somewhat recently, like the last few days, and the commentary basically boiled down to because it came up in the Boba thread recently. People were like talking about War Juggernaut. And then it was also in a CAD thread, and people are like, well, it can deal with a swarm of Vader tokens. It's like, okay. Why didn't you just fucking kill them all? Or like, even if it deals with a swarm of Vader tokens, does that deal with the Vader in clone ship, which is the real crux of the issue? Well, the thing is, if you die on 6, it doesn't matter. Like, if the issue is they have 81 health guys, I want to ping them all. Sure. But I don't think that scenario comes up. It's like, just play IG-2000. Do you need 6 IG-2000s? One that comes in later? Also, by the way, this guy fucking won anyway, even though he was at 28 or whatever. Shocker, I know, but Shin Hati ain't it. Yeah, it doesn't answer the issue. Like, could you, again, does War Juggernaut solve a problem? Yes, it kills swarms of fucking TIE fighters. That could be an issue you are looking to solve. But the issue with 90% of the suggestions, the cards, and the decks in this game is that they are solutions in search of a problem. And weirdly enough, the problem doesn't exist. Or is not as big of a problem if you played properly. And I am guilty of this too, either coming up with weird solutions or like just playing it poorly and therefore I can't actually do whatever it is I'm trying to do. But the problem is that a lot of fucking... It's just the same problems over and over again. People just keep trying to square peg round hole stuff. Did this person queue for the wrong fucking... Oh my god, are they gonna... What? How do you... Oh, I could play That's a Rock. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know if that's actually worth a deck slot, though. Oh, this isn't Tarkin Town? Why the fuck are you playing this? Kylo might be one of the decks I take to Galactics for the side events, because they're best of one, so womp womp. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. Well, I think CAD is actually very good into space aggro, but that is what it is. Yeah, I think CAD kind of craps on space aggro. The question is, especially with modern iterations of it, or more recent iterations of it. I don't know if Vader really lines up well into it. Based on testing, it was atrocious. Like, I'm Owen forever into Patrick. And it felt... The games looked close. Like, I would get him to 28, 27, 29, whatever. But I was never going to get that additional damage because, like, by that point, he had Chimera online and then had cards in hand to deal with it. So it's like... I could claim, and then he goes, okay, kill something, heal out of range. And there's no pumps in the deck, so we're just never getting there. I'm pretty sure this Kylo's cooked. Yep. That 4-cost interrogation droid, wow. So, Premier, like, there aren't any Eternal cards in this. Like, I don't think this deck is very good. I was just gonna play it because then it's quick games in a best of one structure, which I'm annoyed by. I keep hoping for Gideon to be a thing, but it's just never is. I have seen a lot of people move to... Wait, what? Oh, yeah, Aura. A lot of people move to red. I think red or yellow is the answer, but... Because otherwise, like, why aren't you just playing Krennic? I was about to say, that thing doesn't have ambush, and then I realized Aura attacked it. So I will say, the thing that I liked about the Thrawn Data Vault deck yesterday is it turned Gideon into a draw 2, essentially. I think that was actually really cool. It had other synergies, but like Gideon, like the loop with Gideon, Trashwalker, and then like Chimera or something like that. Because you could Trashwalker back the big things. Gideon lets you get back the little things, and then you could always Trashwalker back Gideon and cycle shit. Like, it worked out really well. I feel like this guy is supposed to be the answer to a number of issues that people are presenting. I feel like it would not have been broken for Gideon to get raid. Like, just give him literally every keyword. I don't think it would have been bad. Also, this guy is like sacrificing his entire team to effectively do nothing. Like, he's going to deploy Gideon here and do what exactly? Is he even... So this has ambush, so if it dies, he'll have ambush. He has overwhelm, he has saboteur, he has hidden, and he has shielded. But unless he's going to deploy with both Unveiled Might and Sudden Ferocity, he's still just a 5/8, and it's a 0 damage Data Vault. Gideon falls into the trap that I've talked about before, where, like, even if you do your special trick, in this case, hey, I got all the keywords, I've collected every Pokemon, it doesn't matter because it's not actually good. And he looks cool as fuck in this armor. Like, this armor looks fucking sick. But you know what's going to happen? He's going to get condemned here. I'm telling you, man, like, this stuff is so telegraphed. He didn't even have the ambush to, like, even potentially... Yeah, he did not bluff that. Congratulations on your 1 damage. That game is over. It's such a cool concept. I want to see what Boba Yellow does. The main thing I want to play out of Boba Yellow, honestly, is Gorilla Soldier. Yep, there it is. Has there ever been a green yellow villain deck that's worked? It's weird the the different like aspect combinations that have never really. I take it back. That's Boba 1. But are there aspect combinations that have never had like an actual viable tier 1 deck? Blue yellow villain? I don't really count Boba 1 there. I don't think that deck was actually very good. All right, Rampart, we're done. Sorry, buddy. We're not doing that. I want to watch this because this is not very good space aggro. But I think Mando is good into space aggro. Allegedly, Vader does well into it, but I don't know about that. That's actually hilarious. That is fucking comical. Maybe I should just choose Vader. Tommy will be very happy. He's been calling me on Vader for a while. Like I said, if I can get... What the fuck? Wow. I forgot this card existed. Why didn't... Wedge didn't even resource. That's actually kind of interesting tech. I don't know if that matters. Like if Mando has a bad Vader matchup, that could certainly help. Like it adds another just redundancy for the sweeper. So you can be like, turn 2 collateral, turn 3 let's call it war, turn 4 that thing, turn 6 hyperspace. Like you can probably fill the like desolation in between. You could definitely fill the gaps if you really want to. Why didn't Vader deploy? You're about to get hyperspaced. Condemn's pretty bad too. I don't have any idea why you claimed. That game looks over. I think Aura's gotta be bad. Especially if you start like this. I cannot for the life of me figure out why people are playing Bailing Green. What is the draw for Bailing Green? Yes, you get all of the villain cards in blue-green, but you could be playing Krennic Thrawn, Aura, other Thrawn. Like, he's probably the fourth, fifth, or maybe even sixth best blue-green villain. You do get a faster deploy, but, like, the body is pathetic. And it actually doesn't do a damn thing here. However, if he has craving power, it doesn't matter. He's just going to beat the living fuck out of this guy. Like, this Ezra is fucked. Let's pass. What? I mean, I guess it kind of doesn't matter. So you deploy Ezra, and now, like, he's at least deployed, but protect the pod's a little weird. Balin just kind of seems like the most fair of the blue-green mid-range piles. You're just not doing anything that impresses me. This is crazy. I mean, this can trade with this technically at end of turn, but Balin's so far ahead in damage, and we're in the same situation where, like, oh, you deployed? That's cute. I have craving power. You're dead. It doesn't even matter here. You can just fucking attack you. Why didn't you attack with the... What? What just happened? Did he forget it as Saboteur? Dude, he's gonna claim and kill you with aggressive negotiations. Oh my god. This is actually fucking depressing. I really hope he has negotiations. Even if he doesn't, I think he kills him anyway. I mean, the Balin player could have removal for the blue ace. But even then, if Ezra's running the Saboteur ship, he can still push through. Man, I just... What the fuck? Okay. I think that's enough swoo for tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. I have a wedding to go to. We'll see what time I get back. If I am able to stream, I will stream. If not, we'll be back on Monday. As always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.